morning student. Today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 16, water a precious resource. In this chapter we will learn about how water is essential for us, what are the different uses of water in our day-to-day life, and from where do we get water, means what are the sources of water on the earth, and we will talk about the why groundwater is depleting day by day, how we can increase the level of groundwater, how we can conserve water. This all we will discuss in this chapter. This chapter is very easy. Let's begin with this chapter. You all know that water is a natural resource which is essential for all living beings. It is a universal solvent and there can be no life without water. We all know that water is a universal solvent. It can dissolve a number of substances in it. Solid, liquid and gases. Various solids are soluble in water, various liquids they are miscible with water, and there are many gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, ammonia which are soluble in water. That is why water is called universal solvent. Now, you know that water is very important. So, to realize the importance of water, to realize that conservation of water is important, every year on 22nd March, we celebrate World Water Day. To make people aware of importance of water, to make people aware how we can save water, why there is a need to save water. World Water Day is celebrated throughout the world. In order to realize the importance of water by everyone, this day is celebrated. In schools also, posters are made by the children, by the students, so that there must be an awareness about the importance of conservation of water. Now let's talk about the sources of water. There are many sources of water in our surrounding. From where we get water? Many water bodies are there like seas, oceans, right? The earth appears blue, you know, if we see it from space. It is because 71% of our surface is covered with water. Near about 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water. That is why earth appears blue if we see it from space. Almost all the water on the earth is contained in seas and ocean, in rivers, lakes, ice cap and as groundwater, and in the atmosphere also. So water on the earth is mainly present in seas and ocean. In about 97% of water on the earth is present in seas and ocean. But it is saline water, salty water, so we cannot use it for our day-to-day activities, for drinking and other purposes. Remaining water which is suitable for the human consumption or any use of human beings, that is a very small amount. The water which is fit for consumption, we call it fresh water. So there is a very little amount of fresh water present on our earth. Fresh water available for human consumption is just 0.006%. It is a very less amount of water. All the water that is present on earth, from that only 0.06% water can be used by the human beings. So this is a very less amount of water, so we should take care of each and every drop of water. Of the total water present on earth, right, only this much amount is fit for human consumption. We call it fresh water. You see that water exists in all the three forms of the earth. In nature you find all the three forms of water. Solid form of water, that is ice or snow. On mountain region, in polar region, reason we find the solid form of water. Liquid form of water you can see in the water bodies like water in seas, rivers, lakes, ocean. Water is in liquid form. Gaseous form of water is water vapor. Is water vapors, and we can see these vapors. There is a gaseous form of water in the air. In the atmosphere, water exists in its gaseous form. So all the three forms of water can be seen in the nature. We know that from the millions of years people are using this water, but still water is maintained on the earth. Right? We are using water every day. For millions of years we are using water, but the availability of water on the earth remain constant just because of water cycle. So cycling of water on the earth, which we call water cycle, helps to maintain the availability of water on the earth. Water cycle. So what is water cycle? The continuous cycling of water. Right? The continuous cycling of water continuous cycling of water from earth to atmosphere, from earth to atmosphere, and then back to the earth in the form of rain, hail, snow. Is called water cycle. So there are many processes which are involved in water cycle, like water from the seas, ocean, lakes and other water sources, water bodies evaporates in the form of vapor. So evaporation is one of the processes involved in water cycle. After evaporation, these water vapor they get condenses in the atmosphere, and through condensation they form clouds. Water get condensed and form clouds, and from the clouds, when the raindrops become, when the drop of water they become heavy, and clouds can no more hold them, then they fall on the earth in the form of rain, and we call it precipitation. Another process involved in this water cycle. And we know that trees, the leaves of the trees, they also release water vapor through the process of transpiration. So these are the important processes involved in water cycle: evaporation, condensation, precipitation and transpiration. I hope these processes are now clear to you, and how water is maintained on the earth. So the continuous cycling of water from earth to atmosphere and then back to the earth is called water cycle. Water, you know that water continually gets evaporated from the surface of water bodies like oceans, seas, lakes, rivers, and form clouds. Clouds after condensation leads to rainfall by the process of precipitation. After rain, it passes through rivers and again it reaches to the water bodies and like seas, oceans, and again evaporation takes place. In this way, this water cycle is maintained in our surrounding, in our environment. Now let's talk about the water that seeps in the ground. It forms groundwater. The seepage of water in the ground is called infiltration. The water that seeps in the ground, this process of seeping of water, the process of seepage of water into the ground is called infiltration. So water that seeps in the ground, it forms groundwater by the process of infiltration. I hope this is clear to you. the rainwater or the water from other sources like ponds, lakes, it percolates under the ground and collects over the impermeable rocks. This water is called groundwater. And the upper limit of groundwater is called water table. Water table is the upper limit of groundwater. The upper layer of the groundwater, we call it water table. There is an undistribution of water on the earth. Much of it has resulted from human activities. We know that water is not evenly distributed on the earth. Somewhere there is lot of rainfall, it results in flood. Somewhere there is lack of rainfall and it results in drought. So water is unevenly distributed on the earth, and due to overconsumption of this groundwater and other fresh water resources, we are using them to fulfill our demands. This causes shortage of water. So the causes for shortage of water, now let's discuss causes for shortage of water. Causes for shortage of water. What are the reasons behind shortage of water? So there is rapid growth of industries, increasing population. The factors responsible for depletion of water. Increasing population results in increasing demands of water. Right? Rapid industrial growth. Results in more consumption of water. Agricultural activities. Increase in agricultural activities. Get increase. This also results in shortage of water. So, and one more reason for the shortage of water is mismanagement. We will not manage the amount of water available to us in a proper way, then also there will be a shortage of water. Misuse, mismanagement of water results in shortage of water. So we should take care about these things. Just see, increasing population results in increasing demands of water. Rapid industrial growth results in more requirement of the water. Agriculture activities are also increased just because of increasing demands by the increasing population. To fulfill the need of increasing population, more agricultural activities, like more crops are grown, more irrigation, so there will be shortage of water. And mismanagement of water also results in shortage of water. So this was there in the chapter related to how water is important and what are the various sources of water, what are the reasons for shortage of water. Now one more thing is there, that is how we can increase this water on the earth. So an important way to increase the water, to save the water, to conserve the water is rainwater harvesting. In rainwater harvesting, we collect the rainwater. Collection of rainwater for future use is called rainwater harvesting. Future use. So in rooftop rainwater harvesting, what we do, we collect the water which is there on the roof, the rainwater which falls on the roof, through pipe. It is connected with that tank. So all the rainwater that falls on the roof, it is withdrawn through the pipe into our tank, and there it is collected. And by digging up it in the ground, we collect the rainwater. So by collecting rainwater, we can use it in our future, and this is called rainwater harvesting. So this was all in the chapter. Now let's discuss exercise of this chapter. Exercise and question answers of the chapter. So first question is mark true false. True against true and false against false. First is the fresh water stored in the ground is much more than that present in the rivers and lakes of the world. Right, the fresh water in ground is more than that in the river and lakes. So this is true. First is true. Groundwater amount is more than that of the water in the rivers and lake. This is true. Second one. Water shortage is a problem faced only by people living in rural areas. No, it is faced by all the people living anywhere in the world. So this is false. Water from rivers is the only source for irrigation in the field. This is also false. We are using water from the wells, water from the lakes for irrigation and many other sources also. Rain is the ultimate source of water. This is true. The ultimate source of water on our earth is rain. Explain how groundwater is recharged. Groundwater कैसे recharge होता है? The rainwater and the water from other sources like river, ponds, it seeps through the soil and fill the empty spaces and cracks deep below the ground. The process of seeping water into the ground is called infiltration. So the groundwater gets recharged by the process of infiltration by the seepage of water into the ground. Question number 3. There are 10 tube wells in the lane of 50 houses. What would be the long-term impact on water table? A huge amount of water will be pumped out from these 10 tube wells and it will result in the depletion of groundwater. Because people they will keep on using the groundwater and thus there will be depletion in the groundwater. So in the longer terms we can say it will affect the availability of water in that area. Now question number 4. You have been asked to maintain a garden. How will you minimize the use of water? We can minimize the use of water by using drip irrigation. In drip irrigation, drop by drop, water is given near the roots of the plants. So drip irrigation saves water. It is economical in save water. Though it is expensive, but it saves water. So by using drip irrigation, we can minimize the use of water. Preventing the leakage in the drains in the delivery pipes, filling the burrows of snakes and rat, protecting the boundaries of field from breakage. So by making boundaries around the field, by drip irrigations, by filling the holes of rats and snakes, we can save water in our garden. Question number 5. Explain the factors responsible for depletion of water table. We have just discussed that the reason behind depletion of water is increase in population, right? Increase in industrial activities, increase in agricultural activities and mismanagement. All this result in depletion of groundwater. Now fill in the blanks. People obtain groundwater through dash and dash. Through tube wells, hand pumps, well. 3 forms of water are dash, dash and dash. Your answer is, what are the 3 forms of water? Solid, liquid and gas on the earth. The water bearing layer of the earth is called aquifer. The layer of water that bears water, we call it aquifer. The process of water seepage into the ground is called infiltration. Okay, but what is aquifer? Let's discuss what is aquifer. So a water trap where groundwater is trapped between the layers of hard rock below water table. So below water table, the water which is between the hard rocks, we call it aquifer. So in figure 3rd, the water bearing layer of the earth is called aquifer. Now question number 7, which one of the following is not responsible for water shortage? Rapid growth of industries, increasing population, heavy rainfall, mismanagement of water resources. So obviously heavy rainfall is not the cause of depletion of water. Heavy rainfall will increase water, it will not deplete the water. Now the last one, the correct option. The total water in the lakes and rivers of the world remain constant, under the ground remain constant, in the seas and oceans of the world remain constant, of the world remains constant. The right answer is of the world remain constant. Just because of water cycle, the total water on the earth remain constant. So this was all in the chapter. It was all for today. I hope you understood the chapter. Chapter was very easy. So you can read it and you can just go through the question answers of the chapter. I hope now it is clear to you. Thank you everyone. Have a good day.